AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
NBA insider Sean Devaney of Heavy Sports says the Knicks are 100% expected to pursue Karl-Anthony Towns if he's available. Yo, stop playing with me, man. Your internets. You want everything to be a damn advertisement? The Timberwolves signed Towns to a 4 years, $221 million extension. That was in 2022. Karl-Anthony Towns will make $49 million next season. That's a 5-year, $204 million extension off of last offseason. And Goldberg, of course, he made 5 years. He's on a 5-year, $205 million extension. Knicks president Leon Rose used to be Towns' agent when he ran CAA. Towns was born and raised in Edison, New Jersey. Knicks coach Tom Thibodeau, who's expected to sign an extension this offseason, coached Towns on the Timberwolves. For four-time All-Star, Towns has averaged 22.9 points per game, 10.8 rebounds, 3 assists, 8 steals, 1.3 blocks. So basically, he averaged 23 and 11 since he came out to the league. Fellas, all ball.
Hold. What is his field goal from 2-point and 3-point?
For his career?
However you want to call it, for last season, for whatever. For last season. You big on those numbers, don't duck that smoke. Yeah.
It's below 50%. I know that much for his field goal percentage, and his 3-point percentage is right around 40%. I'll look it up now.
Yeah. Flea, you see your man, right?
Ain't nobody ducking no smoke.
Listen,
I'm gonna
let him get through this so we can have a conversation about this.
Thank you, Flea, for someone showing some damn courtesy this afternoon.
I'm gonna let him get
late
through it
evening.
so we could talk about this, OG, because we need to talk about this.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about this.
For his career, he shoots basically 40% from 3, and he's actually shooting 52% from the field. Last year, he shot 50% the year before. But yeah, 50% for his whole career.
And what is he from the free throw line?
Over 80.
83, basically 84%.
Okay,
yep.
So 84 from free throw, 50 from the field, 40 from 3. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Up.
Yeah, let's
go. Obviously, you have hyped off these stats, stat man. What do you feel about Karl-Anthony Towns being rumored to come to the Nueva York Knicks?
Well, for me, we've spoken about this last year. People laughed at me. My thing is this: can y'all answer just real quick? And then I'll finish my soliloquy. Yeah, I know what's going on. Is Karl-Anthony Towns a better basketball player than Julius Randle? Just yes or no?
No.
Flea?
Yes.
Thank you. Once again, what I never understood is, why would you not go get a better player? Miss me with he's soft. Miss me with all of that. Yeah, he shoots too many threes. But you know what? In today's game, that's what the game is. Let me give you a prime example. Kristaps Porzingis. Everybody ended on him. He's not a great defender. He's not a super duper shot blocker, even though he definitely protects the rim. He doesn't go in the post as much. All he wants to do is shoot threes and middies. And where's he at right now? Karl-Anthony Towns will have that same effect on our New York Knicks. Miss me with he's soft, miss me with all of that. He's a better basketball player than Julius Randle. And if you get him with our Knicks, now with Brunson being the leader that he is, and with guys like Josh Hart and DiVincenzo, my opinion, he will be a totally different basketball player. He would buy in, and like I said, look at those numbers. 80 from the free throw line, 50 from the field, 40 from 3-point. How do we not need that? I don't understand. I take my personal out. I don't know him personally. Don't care to know him personally. All I know is he's a better basketball player than Julius Randle. He will come to our Knicks, and that will be a definite upgrade, and we will be title contention off the rip. You kidding me? Him, Hart, DiVincenzo, OG, and Brunson? That's starting 5? Are you kidding me? With dudes coming off the bench and whatever else we gonna do, you still got Mitch? Nah, listen, man. I love y'all my brothers. I don't know what y'all want us to do. If we have a chance to upgrade, why would we not upgrade? Please, give me the problem with Karl-Anthony Towns. Because for one, in Minnesota, he's not being coached correctly. That coach is not a good head coach. Miss me with that. They don't know what they're doing over there. And if he comes to the Knicks, he will not be putting up all those 3-point shots. Tibbs is going to have him in a post. Tibbs is going to make him tougher, and I guarantee you he's going to play better defense. So for me, I love it. You get a chance to upgrade. Cat makes us a title contending team off the rip, and we seeing it with Porzingis. It's the same exact situation. We don't have the talent like Boston. I'm not saying that. But what Porzingis did for Boston is what Cat would do for our Knicks. So for me, y'all too, as much as I love y'all, y'all can go to hell if y'all don't let us. Because I love it. I've been saying this forever. So love y'all. Y'all can have the floor, but I love this move. And I think we need to go for it. Straight up.
He has been consistent. He has been disgusting me with this Cat conversation for over a year, and I've been consistent too. Hell to the Nizzo. Fleazy. What do you think about what AllBall just said? Because I'm disgusted with it.
Listen, I'm consistent. Y'all know what we built this year, we need to continue to build on, right? It's all about fit. It's all about upgrading, though. So I think you got to be real strategic and careful on who you decide to bring into this culture. Now, let's not forget, Cat has played for Tibbs before. Cat is a guy that needs to be motivated. The caveat was that Jimmy Butler was there and he was kicking Cat in the ass that entire season to drag them to the playoffs that year. That was Cat's first time in the playoffs was under Tibbs, and he had Jimmy Butler right next to him, right? So he understands what it is to play for Tibbs. But I promise you that one of the players that was on that anonymous voting list that did not want to play for Tibbs, I promise you Cat is on that list. He does not want to play for that dude. So what I'm saying is that, yes, I would love to have him and his abilities, his talent, what he brings to the game. But I don't think he wants to come here and actually do what's necessary to actually be, a winner. Like, I'm not saying he's not a winning player. I'm saying that it's going to take a lot for him to adjust to what we do here. Your talent is going to be your talent. You could go all other 29 teams in the league. Your talent is your talent. We're not saying nothing about that. But what it's going to take for us to get over that hump, OG, like for what it's going to take for us to contend with Boston, for what it's going to take to contend with Philly, what it's going to take to contend with Milwaukee, like call it what you want. We got to be able to contend with those teams. I like Cat a lot, but I would be very, very concerned about bringing him in. Like if you're saying over Julius Randle, bringing him in, he's more talented. Yes, 100%. But is he going to come and fight every single night? I don't want to have to motivate him all the time. At this point in his career, 10 years in, I should not have to do that for you. So, I know I'll probably surprise you, Fabian, because I'm not all the way far left with it or no, but I just don't think he has what it takes to really play for us in what we do. We scrap, we defend, we sacrifice a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna come and what he's doing in Minnesota, I loved it. I think I've told y'all that. I love how he's actually taking a backseat and really understand, like, yo, Anthony Edwards is the guy. I just have to be here to support this dude. If he can bring that attitude, I would love it. But I think he would struggle doing that.
So just real quick, Femi, can I ask Flea a question? What do we say is also a skill set? Availability. He plays. So for me, that's a big. He plays.
Most recently, he struggled with that though.
Okay, cool. But I'm just saying, unless he's injured, he plays. And
to your point, AllBall, he's gotten injured, but I like the way he has come back from the injuries.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you that.
And also just one last thing. He's a different. Is it possible that he can have a different mindset from 4 years ago? Maybe how he felt and how he was 4 years ago. Maybe he's a changed man at this time. Maybe he wouldn't mind playing for Tibbs. Maybe he needs a leader like Brunson to push him to make him be the great player that he needs to be. And also, we need a player like that to go up against a Milwaukee, a Boston, a Philly. We need a scoring big man. So whether you like Cat or not, give me another big man that we can possibly get that's offensively skilled. Because we not going nowhere with Hartenstein and Mitch as far as offensively.
But my problem with Cat and what we saw in the Western Conference Finals is that is great, OG. We just looked at the numbers. He's a damn near 40% three-point shooter on the career, right? So that's amazing. But the fact of the matter is that you are still 7 feet. You still have an advantage on the court most times. The fact that you don't resort to taking advantage of your matchup as opposed to hunting three-pointers bothers me about his game. So if he ever decided to be as dominant as he was in year 1, 2, 3, 4, when he was 25 and 12 a night, like when he was 25 and 12 a night, he was different. This dude that we're looking at right now that likes to roam around the perimeter, that likes to hunt the three-point shot, that is not the same rebounder that he was at one time, I don't like that guy. I want the guy that we watched coming into this league and, you know what I'm saying, be that dominant player in the post. You couldn't do nothing with him and clean up the glass. He could be that effective. Yes, having the ability to stretch the floor, that's what we need. I agree with you. But I also need him to understand that he needs to take advantage of the matchup sometimes and go in there and go get 2 points in the block. Take advantage of it. You're that good. I don't think we need to tell him that. When Randle sees a mismatch, he has no problem going to the block and saying, yo, give me the basketball. Oh, yo, I'm going to put you on my hip. He hunts the three too much for me. And I think he thinks that makes him a superior player. And that's not going to fly for us.
Totally agree, Will. Why are we all giving up on an All-NBA player who's 25, 10, and 5 and an All-Star? Obviously, to your point, you give up on a guy like that, or not give up on them. You upgrade when you see it. Like we can't overlook that ever. Not gonna say that because you know how I was on Julius Randle the last couple of years until this season. What we saw against every team in January was a different Julius Randle because OG Anunoby got here and opened everything up, including the Minnesota Timberwolves and Karl-Anthony Towns. Karl-Anthony Towns had a great first half. He had a pretty good game against us, but Julius Randle was running amok against them. He took every matchup, especially against McDaniels, Cat, and Anthony Edwards. He didn't care who was out there, and that was opened up because of the team that we have. I've never seen Cat look like that. I don't care what y'all say. Even at his peak, whatever it is, I've never liked his game. I always thought I love this potential. I've loved his potential. I thought him and Anthony Davis were going to run this league. 7-footers who could play any position, defend any position. But he hasn't lived up to it. He can't even finish with his right hand going with his left hand going left, bro. I've seen it. I know his game. He settles way too much.
He was just in the conference finals.
No, they were just in the conference finals. He's a third or fourth option, and he made himself that way. He did that.
He's a third or fourth option on Minnesota?
Correct. He does that to himself, bro. He takes himself out of the game. Like
you
said.
Saying that because you don't like him personally. He's not no third or fourth option on
Minnesota. What don't I like about him personally?
Stop.
What is there
you don't like his game, but you like Julius Randle game. His game is terrible when you look at it.
No, when did I start liking Julius Randle's game? See what I'm saying? Like if they're conference finalists and I don't like it, and I still don't like your game. He's part of the reason why they lost to the Mavericks. A huge part because he didn't take advantage of his mismatches. He's a big reason why.
Okay.
Of course. Where if he's not the third, didn't make himself a third option. Where was he the first 4 or 5
games?
They
beat the defending champs in the MVP 4 straight. Does he get credit for that?
Of course, because he showed up.
But that's the potential that he played. That's what he played like, and then he reverted back to something different in the series that I thought he could take advantage of 2 guys that I don't think could guard him. Lively or Gafford could not guard that dude, but I think he let them off the hook by allowing them to, play with him on the perimeter. He could have been way more effective had he taken advantage of those matchups. I don't know. I just don't. I like what Julius Randle has become before the injury. I like it. That's why I was so disappointed when he got hurt. If we remember in that stretch, we played some of the best basketball in the league with Julius, OG, and Brunson as our core, and we was rocking and rolling. We were unbeatable at one point. So I don't want to sell on Julius just yet, but if the question is, Would I be mad at Cat? You know, I would not be terribly mad at it, but I think I'm fine where we at right now.
And if you hold on, if you're gonna ask who would you rather have with that skill set, his teammate, Nas Reed. Whatever you looking for to give up, no, let's get a little less. And I want Nas Reed over here. Nas Reed is just he's gonna give you just as much as Karl-Anthony Towns on offense sometimes, but defensively, he's a different kind of guy. No, he doesn't have the talent level as Karl-Anthony Towns, but Nas Reed has been. He was the part of the missing piece when Minnesota Timberwolves going from winning one game in the first round versus the Nuggets to reverse sweeping them in the second round of the playoffs this season. That's who was a big part of this 50, 40, 90 just as well. And you were missing Jaden McDaniels that series as well, too. But you can't tell me you'd rather go after a $60 million player who doesn't play like he's worth $60 million and trade our guy who's shown that he can play with this exact team that we're looking for. That kind of doesn't make sense to me. That ain't personal. It ain't never personal. Not with me.
Bruh, the first thing you say when we talk about Cat is I don't like Cat. Stop, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So
I don't like him his game. I ain't talking about him personally.
So he was one of the main reasons why they won that one game in the conference finals. Oh, are we going to forget that?
Yeah. Okay.
That's it, though, right? Yeah. Okay. That's it, right?
But if you're that inconsistent, and before I forget, Flea, they did squash their beef, right? Like him and Tibbs were going back and forth. He might have been one of the 46% of the people in the NBA that voted against Tibbs as a coach that he would rather play for, right? So, but this article goes into that. How Karl-Anthony Towns and Tom Thibodeau are officially at peace with each other. They have different
Whoa.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Oh,
excuse me, I'm sorry. That was a
Yo, what kind of games do we play?
41. I'm 41.
Yo, go ahead, read what you got to read. What's going on?
He said, Tibbs said he's as gifted as they come. Speaking about Karl-Anthony Towns, and I forgot what was it two grown men got together, had a conversation. It was done years ago. So they're saying this happened years ago. But so to Flea's point though, like it was done years ago. What was done years ago? What was done years ago? A coach that trying to get you to play, and a coach that got you into the playoffs. Your only playoff appearance before Ant-Man got there was with Jimmy Butler. How many times, if he's the first option you claim him to be, how many times has he been in the playoffs as the first option?
I never said, for one, never heard come on my mouth polls that he was the first option. I never said that. All I'm saying is you cannot pass up on a player like that if you can get him. As we see what the league is, you need a big man that can stretch the floor, straight up and down. We don't have that. That's going to be trouble. I have nothing personal against Julius Randle, but if I can get a better player, then I'm going for it. So just like people say in the chat, all NBA and all-star, etc., right? Cat is the same thing, but he's 7 foot and he shoots better from the field on everything. I'm not arguing with that. I think putting him around Hart, DiVincenzo, and Brunson will definitely toughen him up, that leadership, and he will be a legit second option. And I think a guy like that, Minnesota, to me, he may be a little, it might have messed with his psyche. Yeah, he may be a little soft-skinned and things of that nature. Cool, you are who you are. But I think now what the Knicks has built with this culture and a guy like Brunson, I think he will fall in line. And now you have him as a second legit option. He's going to get the field goal, the field goals he need. He can put up his shots. Listen, I think it's a no-brainer. I'm sorry, I think it's a no-brainer. Flea is big on this, and I love when Flea says this. I think Julius Randle hit his ceiling. I don't think he can get better. I don't think he can get better.
So let me ask you this. You think Cat can get better?
Yes. I think Cat can turn into... Now, hold on. I think Cat can turn into a better defender. I think
he showed that he's capable of being that.
Right.
In that Denver series, he showed that he's capable of actually being the defender he needs to be at his size. The things that he did against Joker to maintain him. We're not talking about stopping a 3-time MVP. Like, but we're talking about being able to maintain. Like, he looks better. So he has the capabilities. That's what I'm saying. I know he has the capabilities. But is he going to do that on a night in, night out basis? Can we rely on him? I feel like we've got to a place where we can rely on Julius, and he fits to what we're doing. I hear what you're saying, OG. The dude shoots from the field better, shoots from three better, shoots from the free throw line better. So, I mean, he must be better, right? I'm just big on, does it fit? Does it make sense? Everybody is mixing, matching, and putting this guy on this team and that team and this team and that team. It don't work. Okay, now we got to break down the roster and figure it out again. Like you always say, we at a spot where we could make one move and go this way, or we could make one move and go back and digress. So I just want us to be careful on what we do. Get the poll going, Fabian.
Well,
Cat
for me,
or Julius Randle. Let's throw it in the chat.
And for me,
I'm 41.
I'm that
was crazy.
I'm gonna just keep repeating the example of Porzingis to Boston. I've been saying it. I said he's going to be the most important piece. People laughed at me, and once again, remember, he's injury prone. He's soft. He takes too many threes. But look what he did for that Boston Celtics team, and now they are in the finals. My opinion, Cat will have that same effect with our Knicks. Just imagine if Hartenstein or Mitchell Robinson had some type of offense. It could average at least 15. I'm not even saying they got to average 20. Just imagine if those guys can, night in, night out, be some type of a threat and average at least 15. We will be a totally different ball club. It will be us right now in the finals. That is a fact. So for me, I just love that example of, people kind of wasn't really going crazy as far as of course the real basketball minds understood that move, but a lot of, like you said, people flee that, they just watch the game and don't understand what Porzingis did for Boston. I think Cat would do that for our Knicks.
He's a game changer for Boston. Clearly, obviously through the season they win 64 games, and now y'all watching what he did in game one. He's a game changer. I don't care what anybody says. But that he could have that effect. He could absolutely have that effect. But Porzingis is also a known rim protector, right? Porzingis is also a known guy that is willing and capable of defending. Known for this. You're not going to have to ask him or have to motivate him to be at the rim blocking shots or if I'm not going to block shots if I don't get rewarded. Like, he's going to do that off the rip. I need Cat to start understanding that, look, if you come over here, pecking order's a little different. How we approach the game is a little different. Your responsibilities, especially on the defensive end, are different. You cannot be the leak out guy. You cannot be on the. I need you back again, like I said, cleaning the glass, protecting the rim, and get back to being that dominant guy you was if he's going to be with us.
I think to combine both of your points into why it's a hell no is because what kind of a team do you envision around Cat, AllBall, in all sincerity? Because you keep pointing to Porzingis, and it looks like, okay, if you drop him off on this team and just replace Randle with Cat, okay, I could. Now let's sit down and watch this take place. What team do you see surrounding that? Because after that, you can't afford Hartenstein. You can't afford Mitchell Robinson. You can't afford any one of these guys you're going after that with $60 million on the books now.
Y'all crazy.
AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.